up, everyone? So welcome to a day in the life. We're going to walk through a bunch of different stuff today, from food to training to business to all kinds of different stuff to dogs. So right now I'm just finishing up a few kind of initial emails in the morning, stuff that has to get back to quick, and then I like to go on a little faster walk, either that or cardio in the garage. So we're going to take Zeke today on a little walk around the neighborhood, and we'll bring you guys with us. Yeah, typically I'll do this little morning walk here. We'll go around the neighborhood a couple times, let Zeke get out and get a little bit of leg time. Have another guest on the walk this morning, Aaron Diamond. I like starting my day with it fasted. Number one, it's a lot easier. You know, it's just a convenience thing. Number two, I think it does help the digestive system kind of get back online in the morning. You know, you get systems firing. And then also it helps with appetites. Right now I'm eating quite a bit of food. We're in a growth phase. So I think that, you know, a 20-minute bout of activity first thing in the morning can really help stimulate the appetite for the remainder of the day. So that's the main purpose here. And then also just get some sunlight, you know, get a little bit of things going. And I'll also use this courtyard as a chance to come out and kind of walk barefoot, you know, do some earthing. Kind of get you know, the feel of the day started, get your feet on the ground.
Zeke.
And also just think, you know, it's a good time to think and kind of get affirmations running through your head and positive vibes. Yeah, this is how I prefer to start my day. So my man Zeke here, he's a legitimate certified savage when it comes to eating. He'll eat his food in 47 seconds flat, consistently. It's pretty impressive, but you know, eating like that is going to cause him some digestive issues. And Zeke knows that physique building, digestion is the foundation of what we're doing here. So we've got to get better digestion. So that means we've got to put Zeke in this little doggy maze. Well, first off, all the dogs got to get a handshake before they eat. Good girl. Give 5. Go eat. All right, stay. No, you don't need to 5 yet. No. No. Stay. Okay. All right, good. So meal number 1, usually I get this in a lot earlier. Today we're running behind, working on a lot of projects. Aaron and I are launching a business today, which we'll talk about later. Meal number 1, typically I like to go with whole food, or well, not whole food, but solid food, actually eating a meal. We're in a hurry today, so we're going with a shake. And this is the Balkan shake. So this is gonna be high, very dense calorie, a lot of stuff going on here, and I'll run you through everything we're throwing in this bad boy. So I'll usually rotate between 2 meals, and this is gonna be a shake, and I'll look in MyFitnessPal because I'll have all my meals saved in there, and it'll kind of remind me the amounts of everything. And this comes out to about 888 calories, 73 protein, 83 carb, 27 fat. Unfortunately, we're running low on Nutrigen. This is my friend Ben with Morphogen Nutrition's product, and it's a green supplement. So, you know, when it comes to like micronutrients and vegetables, something like this, you know, if you look at the ingredient list, it's about as diverse as you could possibly get in a green supplement. I'll typically have 1 serving of this, of a green supplement, along with 2 servings of like whole vegetables, you know, 2 cups broccoli or 2, you know, spinach. And then at the end of the night, I'll usually do a little bit more of a greens powder. So Aaron's office, as you guys will see, is right there. So anytime I'm doing stuff like this, it's highly annoying for her to try to concentrate. So again, next ingredient is MCT oil. So just medium chain triglycerides. It's really good. Really good fat. Then we jump over to the carbs. Have a fairly, you know, fast digesting carb here. This is just single grain rice cereal. It's a very simple carb, easy. We're gonna throw about 70 grams of this in here. And then I'm gonna throw a little bit of sea salt to salt all the meals. Usually take 2 of these first thing in the morning too. Morpho Prime, it's another product by Ben's company, Morphogen Nutrition. So typically as you know, as a health enthusiast as well as a bodybuilder, you know, intrinsic health and trying to make sure that you're taking care of your system and organ support, liver support, all these functions, you know, operate as a whole. So, and lastly, we've got whey protein, of course. We're gonna throw 2 scoops in here of True Nutrition, my favorite protein company, just because they're very transparent and there's no hidden ingredients in this, no fillers. It's just exactly what you get. It's a very quality whey source, or whey protein source. And then if it's a high output day, you know, where carbohydrates are high, I'll also throw 1 pastry, not in it. I used to do that, it's kind of weird. So next, after meal number 1, I typically jump right into work. I'm gonna go upstairs to my office, which I'll show you guys, and dive right into whatever I have listed for the day. So I'm trying to get better at time blocking and actually prioritizing what I need to do. You know, I have multiple businesses and multiple projects going on at once. So It's very dangerous if you're in my kind of situation to jump in without a plan first thing in the day and just start diving into multiple areas. You can find yourself distracted, and multitasking is extremely unproductive. So I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna make a list or review the list that I made the night before of what objectives I have for today. What am I trying to get done today? Number one is client programming. I have about 4 new clients that I've got their plan overviews and everything kind of outlined. I just need to put it all on paper and get it delivered to them. So this is the office, typically where I try to get most of my stuff done, as long as the dogs let me. As coaches, you've got a lot of things coming at you and a lot of things that you have to try to keep organized. Especially if you're just working, with yourself. If you have a team, it can get even more confusing trying to delegate things and keeping everybody on the same page. So that's why I really love, using whiteboards. As you'll see here, this is kind of our tracker that our team uses. This is how we collect all the data. This is for general clients and prep athletes. You want to go slow and conservative, really monitoring the variables. If you're losing 3 pounds a week consistently for week after week, your deficit is too large and your body's going to eventually compensate. So that's why we look at this data. So we'll have clients weigh in, and then we'll also correlate their weigh-ins with their daily intake. You got to look at other things like sleep, menstrual cycles, sodium that can cause the weight fluctuations, so you can really look at it from a whole, rather than just seeing weight trends and kind of deciding to make a change or to freak out based on just the numbers. It's a holistic approach. And we of course do photo updates, because that's, at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, is to make sure that they're progressing visually as well as biofeedback. Things like stress, digestion, energy levels, strength in the gym. All these things have to be taken into account. What's up, everybody? Back here for meal number 2, and today's been a crazy day with launching mentorship, and today's also a busy day for client startups. So I'm not eating my meal number 2 until 3:30-ish. So that's not good. But we'll pack in these 2 meals as we need. Usually try to get 3 meals in between before training. Usually right before I eat, throw in a few digestive enzymes. At the end of the day, the most important thing is just total, macro intake. But if you're working towards a specific goal and trying to be optimal, I like to use strategy to break down how you set up your macros. Right now, I'm putting in a lot of calorie-dense stuff early on in the day before training, so a lot more of a fat-dense meal here with moderate carbs. It's about 80 grams of carbs, moderate and relative to I'm eating 600 grams of carbs a day.
3 hours later.
So again, meal here is late, 7 o'clock in the evening. But what we got going on here is basically all carbs and protein. Now this depends on the person as far as how you want to break up your macros, pre-workout. And what I mean is, some people maybe get like a steep rise in blood sugar if they eat nothing but carbs without any kind of fats to sort of slow the digestion. So if you're somebody who finds yourself crashing mid-workout or right when you get in the gym, you start getting tired, it could be a glycemic issue. So not that it's anything bad, it's just genetically people have different kind of preferences. I like having mostly carbs and no fats, or at least trace fats, pre-workout. So I'll eat this, and I try to plan this about an hour before I'm actually training. So hopefully I don't dress like too much of an asshole today and embarrass Adam, because Adam's training with me, the man behind the camera. We're gonna hit chest and delts today. To start out, I usually bike for like 5 to 10 minutes. The purpose of this is not to burn calories or anything else. It's simply just to wake up the nervous system, get CNS turned on, get blood moving. So these are not meant to be heavy. And I'm doing kind of limited ROM, especially on the negative, to try to warm my shoulder up. Just making the chest fire. What we're doing here, we're doing cable fly variation. One of the biggest issues with cable flies is that often we allow our chest to kind of go flailing around, and we'll allow our shoulders to hunch up, activate traps, put our way too much shoulders into it, So put an incline bench like this, it allows you to keep a big chest and to keep everything else stable. So you create a stable frame and isolate the chest a lot better. One thing with dips, the more you're able to lean forward over the handles, the more you're gonna hit your chest. Leaning back into it will keep more tricep into it. So these are chest focused dips. We got upright rows. we're gonna come up just to about parallel with your chest, and we're gonna keep the bar a little bit of space from your body. Real stiff core on these two. With the lateral raise, you know, obviously we're trying to hit the interior head. So what you want to try to think about is moving your hands out towards the ceiling, trying to push the walls apart. And about right there is where they're most activated. So it's not straight out, it's right here. Right there is where you can get the most activation, and you're trying to keep your pinkies up towards the ceiling. So with trying to hit a rear delt, you know, it's kind of a tricky muscle to isolate. I've seen so many different variations. For me, if I lean into it, whether it's a pec, you know, a reverse pec deck, dumbbell fly, if I lean into it and I keep the range of motion out right here, that's where, and you can see my rear delt contract right there. You can see it right there. Anything more than that, you're bringing in other body parts. So that pretty much wraps it up. Got one more movement. Because I'm bulking right now and pushing a lot of food, I think it's important to keep a little bit of ab work, depending on what your goal is. I'm trying to keep my stomach tight, keep my vacuum in. So to do some ab work, just keep your core in line, keep that stomach from just stretching. So we're gonna throw in some weighted rope crunches, supersetting with some hanging leg raise. All right, guys, second to last meal of the day. Appreciate you hanging out today. I know that it was kind of hectic, and I'm gonna do this again and maybe share more in depth some of the things that I do, aside from just eating, you know, maybe talk about a little more business. But today I wanted to give you some insight on what my sort of bulking plan or program looks like. Now, we gotta cut this a little bit short. I still have one more meal tonight, but I'm gonna wrap up and explain everything I do. So post-workout, just got finished training about 30 minutes ago. Haven't had any carbohydrates or anything since early in the workout. I tend to like to try to finish my intra-workout carbohydrates within 15 to 20 minutes of training. Reason behind this is central nervous system. You know, once you get into that fight or flight state, digestion can be compromised. So then you're gonna get bloating, you just have issues trying to get the carbohydrates to shuttle. So get those finished, come home, and I like to try to eat pretty soon. So post-workout, it's usually just carbs and protein. And then I have a high protein meal for dinner. This is what it looks like. Hungry Jack potatoes. Guys, for anybody who's pushing a lot of carbohydrates and looking for an easy route, an easy and like whole food route, you know, these are just mashed potatoes. These are the fucking shit. So, I don't know if you want to edit that out. And about 40 grams of carbs and some Fruity Pebbles. You know, there's no reason not to throw in a little bit of fast digesting carbs. Sugar content is not that crazy in this. Not gonna hurt you guys. Little bit of an inflammatory response, I'm sure, but in the context of things, little bit. Aside from that, we're gonna go in the cereal, we're gonna mix up whey protein and just use that as milk, quote unquote milk. And then if you need extra carbohydrates, you can use something like Carbolin. So again, this is gonna be about 120 carb, probably 60 protein. And then the last meal of the night is usually 5 whole eggs, spinach, and depending on what I have to make up that night. If I'm a little bit short on fats or carbs, I'll kind of fill that in, whether it's with some Ezekiel bread, maybe a Rice Krispies treat if I'm feeling a little frisky. Just depends, you know, if I need a little bit more fat, I'll go more eggs, or I'll just throw a little bit of like avocado oil on the eggs themselves. And yeah, that's how you wrap up your macros for the night. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message. Follow me on Instagram if you want to follow more stuff like this as far as my protocols, information, things like that. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today, and hope you guys come back for the next one.